Dave here with Dave and Diane throwing caution to the wind. In this video, I'd like to share with you how the Anker Solix has enhanced the off-grid experience in our home on wheels. So to paint the picture for this video, when we had our fifth wheel built, we had a 3,000 watt inverter installed and 1,520 watts of solar up on top of the roof, which is perfect for our lifestyle back then. Because then all of our off-grid living consisted of being out in the wild, so we wanted to conserve on water and our tank capacities. So at that time, we didn't care that our dishwasher, our clothes washer, our induction cooktop was not wired through our inverter. We weren't using him out in the wild anyway. So now we fast forward a few years. We have a piece of RV property we hang out on a lot during the summer, and we like to stay off grid as much as we can to save on our electric bill. But every time we want to do clothes or run our dishwasher, now we have to hook up to shore power in order to run those items. So instead of adding a second inverter on our coach and doing all the wiring involved and spending thousands of dollars to make that conversion, we decided the Anker Solix would be a good solution. Plus, now we can use the Anker Solix as a backup system for our actual RV property. Now in this video, we won't get into using it for our RV property. We want to mainly focus on how we use it with our fifth wheel. So follow along on how we use this. All right, let's see what it does unload a wash. So as you can tell, we're at 100%. Says we'll see here running at 1.5 days. Can you see that? And right now we're outputting 24 watts. Let's go inside. Now I've described to you what typically happens in our coach, right? We always have the accent lights on. You can see the coffee pots plugged in. Our little picture frame things going on. Our residential refrigerator's plugged in. Our microwave, our induction cooktop is plugged in but not working, and then our Breville toaster oven's going on. Entertainment center is plugged in. Let's go up here and we're going to program. We're just going to do an express load right there. No hot water, nothing like that. There we go. It's going to take an hour to run that load. We'll come back and see what we end up at. Well, we have the wash going. Let's take a look here. Just see what this shows. It shows that right now, whatever stage the washer's in right now, we're drawing 246 watts, 230 watts into the coach. It says 10.9 hours of run time right there. We'll come back after the load's done. Hey, I think the wash machine ended its cycle. Let's go take a look, make sure. Yeah, oh yeah, look. Says end. Okay, let's go outside and check the solar generator. Yeah, check it out. So now we're back down to using 200 watts basically, right? 92% left, 11.2 hours left on it as it sits. Now, I think if we were relying on this, we may not run the dryer, but because we're testing, I'm going to go in there, take out what we want to dry. I'm going to put it in the dryer and we'll see what happens then. Let's go take a look. All right, I took some stuff out of the washer. I put it in the dryer. Now this again is a Splendide. This is a 110 unit because it's in the RV. That's what we chose to do. I'm going to go ahead and spin this around. I'm just going to put this on just about probably close to 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and hit the start button. Let it go. Let's go see what it says on the unit outside. Yeah, look at that. 1,657 watts, 1.8 hours remaining. That will no doubt even out somewhere as it keeps on drying. But it's going to run 1,655 watts all the time. Let's come back in 30 minutes and see what it says. Okay, the dryer has stopped. Let's go outside and take a look and see. All right, we'll push our button, turn on the screen. Shows we're at 80%. We're now using 202 watts, which is what we're using pretty much before we started our test. And right now, running the way we are, we still have 9.8 hours left on the battery. All right, let's check out the next test. All right, we're going to run another test. This time we're going to do a load of dishes. Let's see what happens. There we go. Shut the drawer. See if we hear it start. And there you go, it started. Now let's go outside and take a look at the Anker. All right, so we are at 98%, see that? And right now we're pulling 217 watts. and it says we have 12.6 hours remaining. So we'll see what it looks like once we finish the load of wash. I'll be back. All the way through the drying cycle. So that's a long cycle. We started this at 1 o'clock. It's now 3:55, so 4 o'clock. 3 hours it took. Let's go out and check the Anker. So it's at 70%. We're still putting out 163, 158 watts. It says we have 10.8 hours left of time to run the coach. Now, if we had a power outage, we wouldn't be running dishes through the dishwasher, but I wanted to get an idea what it would do. Now we know. So here's another simple way that we're going to use this system. So all of my outdoor tools, my weed eater, my pole saw, my blower, my chainsaw are all the DeWalt 60-volt system. And here's one of my 9 amp hour batteries that is empty. It needs to be charged up. So here we go. Right now we are at 96%. Says we can leave it just like this for 2.2 days. We're going to plug in our charger. And here we go. It's blinking, it's being charged. So right now we're charging that battery. We're using 79 watts, 82 watts. It says time remaining. It'll run like that for 24.6 hours. Now, I know some of you are going, well, what is the use of charging a battery from a battery? Well, the difference is I charge this battery from the excess solar we have going into our coach. This battery, if I charge it otherwise, I'd have to go through the grid and we'd be paying for that. So anyway, that's how I'm going to do it. We charge our batteries through this. We'll come back here pretty soon. We're at 96%. Try to remember that, and we'll see when that's done what it does to this battery. Now, in the meanwhile, I'll have to go out and do some mowing. I'll be back. All right, well, about an hour and a half has elapsed. I came in to check on the battery. Looks like it is fully charged. Let's see what happened to the Anker Solix here. 87%. So what did we start at? Was it 96? 97%? Something like that? So 9%, 10% possibly of what we use in the battery to charge up that battery. That's all right, 87%. Said we'll sit idle like this for 2 days, which you know isn't true, but that was just another simple little nothing test. Maybe you'd be interested in. All right, I was not going to shoot the shameless, will the F3800 start and run a RV AC unit? I just wasn't going to do it. But I feel like I have to in order for it to be looked at as a serious video reviewing the unit. So I'm going to do that. I'll tell you what, I've seen people start and run 1 AC unit. I've seen them start and run 2 AC units. We have 3 Coleman 15,000 BTU AC units on top of our coach. So we're not going to start 1, we're not going to start 2, we're going to start 3. We're going to try to start 3 15,000 BT unit AC units and see what happens. So I have 2 units that do not have soft starts. We're going to start those first. I have 1 unit with a soft start on it because that's one we typically run off our house batteries and through our inverter. We're going to start that last. So here you go. Here's the shameless will it run a RV AC unit. So for the record, here's our coach. Like I said before, coffee pot's plugged in, refrigerator's plugged in, microwave, the Breville. We have some accent lights going on, ceiling fan, just like we typically always are. I hope that the compressor doesn't start on the refrigerator. But right now we're drawing, as you can see, 74 watts. We're kind of fluctuating. And right now we could run the coach at 23 hours and 48 minutes. And we're 100%. So here we are. We're going to start with unit number 2. Let's just lower the temperature down 77 in here now. Let's lower it down below 77 and get it started. All right, here's unit number 2. This does not have a soft start. All right, the fan just kicked on. Now we're putting out 219 watts, 220 watts. The compressor hasn't kicked in. Okay, here goes the compressor. There we go. The compressor's on. You can see we're putting out 1,394 watts. All right. Now, let's go to zone 3. That's the other one without a soft start. It's 78 degrees there. Let's lower it down, get number 3 going. Let's get it down here to 74 degrees. Now that first unit was up in our bedroom. You probably can't hear it running, but you can see it's still pulling 1303 watts. And there's the fan. The fan just kicked on number 3. Now zone number 3 is the very back of our coach. It kind of takes care of the kitchen area. And 1321 watts. We'll wait for the compressor to kick on. Oh, it did not start number 2. Interesting. And the other unit went out as well. Okay, let's go see what we got going on here. Let's turn this back up to above 78. Let's go to zone number 2. Let's kick it up. Let's go see what the unit outside has for a fault. Let's go look. It has to say something, right? It's showing 100%. And I see nothing going on. This just kicked off. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to figure it out real quick. Well, actually, I'm going to push this button twice. There we go. We turned it back on. Shows we have 1.1 days. And it should kick on here in a second. Showing's going to put out some power. Waiting. I just heard the coach kick on. Output 26 watts. So ACs aren't on. We're back to putting out 27 watts. Okay, let's go back in. I'm going to try something else. Now it has me curious. I really thought it was going to start both of them, but because it does not have a soft start, that made a difference. All right, well, it fooled me. Let's go up here. Now I need to turn off my charger because it's wanting to, oh, it's inverting. Okay. Charging, we got to turn off the charger. Charger's back in standpoint. Otherwise, our house batteries are going to want to charge from the F3800. Now, we got that going on. We're back to square one. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start number 2 again, right? Here we go. Let's get number 2 down below 77 degrees. And I really thought it was going to start all 3 of them. So we're going to get down to 71 degrees. We'll get our phone back up here. Oh, it's not connected to the Solix F3800, so it will here in just a second. There we go, it's on. Putting out 78 watts. The fan is just turning on AC1, 220 watts. Let's wait for the compressor to kick on. All right, the compressor took a little bit to turn on. I was kind of surprised. It should be jumping up here in a minute on the AC output. There we go. 1327 watts. And it dropped us all the way down to 2 hours and 30 minutes. So with everything we have going on in the coach right now, and AC number 2, which is in the bedroom, it says it will last for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Now, and there you go, 1320 watts. Now I'm not going to try number 3 again. Now our unit number 1 has the soft start. So I'm going to go ahead and crank number 1 down below 77 degrees. Let's get it down there. Doggone it, I really thought it was going to start up 3 units. This one has a soft start. This should at least work with 1 AC running up front in the bedroom. Here we go, 1389 watts. Man, I thought I was going to have an outstanding video with 3 AC. Okay, there's the fan on unit number 2, which is actually our area number 1, zone 1. Fans on, 1389 watts. You know, this has a 6,000 watt inverter on the F3800, so it should easily start the second unit, especially with the soft start. Just a fan going. Now, our zone number 1 is actually mounted right here in the middle, and like I mentioned, this is the only one we put a soft start in because this is the only one that runs through our inverter, so we're just running battery power. That's what we'll run if we have to. 1389 watts still. There we go. The compressor is kicked on in AC unit number 2, and now we're running 2714 watts. So not what I expected out of this test, but it is a real life test. Actually, you know what? If we had one more unit with a soft start, we could probably start one without the soft start, and then probably could start the other two with soft starts. But we're not going to put soft starts on them just to make that happen for a test, because we can't run these through our inverter, and we will never run 3 ACs off the F3800. It just isn't going to happen. Oh, what's it say for time now? There you go. Well, that's pretty good. It says we could run 2 ACs for 1 hour and 6 minutes. We're down to 98% right now, and we're still pulling 2,734 watts. Doggone it. All right, there's my failed attempt at what I thought was going to be a grandiose running 3 AC units off the F3800. Just didn't happen. All right, here we go. And I've turned both AC units back off again, as you can tell, and we're back up to being able to run our coach as it sits for 22 hours and 18 minutes, which is pretty good. 96%. We killed about 4% of the battery by doing that test. And right now we're putting out 86 watts. And again, we just have the minimal stuff on. For this test, I wanted to hook the coach up to the F3800 first thing in the morning and see how far into the day we can run just off of the F3800, just doing our normal thing around here. So right now it is 5 o'clock in the morning. I haven't even had my first cup of coffee yet. We're going to hook it up. We're going to make coffee, do our normal day, watch TV, just do it all and see how long we last. Let's check that out. All right, we're fired up. You'll see it shows 100%. Now, because we run through a progressive management system in our coach, it looks for a ground. If we only click our on switch for this 240 volt outlets, it won't allow power to run through into our coach. Now, that's really meant for the electric car charging purposes, in which we don't have. But I found out that if we just push it once, it'll say no ground found. So if I push the start button twice, then it puts it into the EV mode, and it will allow power into our coach. So keep that in mind for you RVers. All right, we pushed it twice. It's going to take a second for our progressive management system to run through its test to allow it to work. And there we go. I heard a beep inside the coach, right? Sorry for that bouncing around. I got you off the tripod. So here we go. Right now, it shows we have 1.4 days allowed. We'll run 1.5. That'll change for a little while till it settles in. And it shows that our coach right now is only pulling 29 watts. All right, so I'm ready for some coffee. So I use the K-Pods for my coffee. Diane runs a pot through the regular coffee pot. So let's go ahead and get going here. Let's get me a cup of coffee going. We're going to go out and take a look at the unit and see what it's pulling for power real quick. Let's run out there. I was talking low because Diane's still in bed. She gets up around 6:30, and it's like I said, only 5. So there we go. We have our cup of coffee going. Yeah, look. So we're pulling 2,090 watts basically. 2,087 making my cup of coffee. Something for you RV people to think about. So once I made my cup of coffee, I came back out to see where the wattage settled in at on the F3800. Well, it was at 600, 700, 800 watts, something like that, and there's nothing running in there. Remember, when we first turned it on, it was down to, 25 watts? It should have settled in there again. But I said, what the heck's going on? Well, you know what was going on? This was trying to charge our coach batteries. So our coach batteries were down to 63% over the night. So it was going to charge up our coach batteries. Well, we don't need any help with that. We'll wait for the sun to come up. It can charge up our house batteries. So I just pushed the charger button on our Magnum controller inside the coach there, turned off our charger. Well, actually, I put the charger on standby, and now we're just running off of the batteries off the F3800 like I wanted to test it. So keep that in mind. And now that I turned off the charger inside, we've actually settled in at 170 watts on the unit, and as you can see, it shows 13.2 hours. All right, we're ready for my second cup of coffee. I'll set the phone up here so you can see the app. You can see we're at 93%. Shows we have 12 hours and 48 minutes remaining. Can you see that? And we're pulling right now 203 watts. Let's go ahead and get another cup of coffee and see what we get. 1,332 watts right now while we're making our cup of coffee. Alright, there you see. Second cup of coffee has been made, back down to 175 watts. 92%. 12 hours and 48 minutes left at this pace. Alright, well, I saw the stairway lights go out, which is my indication that Diane's ready to get out of bed. And my normal morning consists of starting her coffee pot so she has coffee when she comes down. So as you can see right now, we're putting out 186 watts for what we're doing in the coach. We're at 88%, and we have 11 hours and 48 minutes left at the current rate. I'm going to turn on the coffee pot here, and I'm going to make Diane's pot of coffee. Now, some of you are wondering, why do you do K-pods and then make Diane a pot of coffee? Well, I drink decaf, and Diane drinks full octane, so that's what happens. All right, so we turn on the coffee pot. It hasn't kicked on yet. Still putting out 182 watts. Starting to perk the water. There you go. The coffee pot now is pulling extra wattage, so we're at 1139 watts. Diane's pot of coffee is done. And looky here, so now we've settled in at 85%. Shows 11 hours and 42 minutes remaining at the way we're sitting right now. And we settled back into putting out 175 watts. And that's the heavy hitters for this morning. Coffee was a heavy hitters. Now, if we happen to make some oatmeal or warm up some water in the microwave, that'd be another heavy hitter. But otherwise, we're kind of set for the day. A little TV use, some ceiling fans running, and we'll see how it turns out. There you go. So remember at the beginning of this segment of our testing, I said at 5 o'clock this morning, I wanted to test running the coach off this unit on a nice casual day around the property. Well, and I kind of thought the heavy hitting for power was going to happen with the coffee in the morning, maybe run the microwave for some hot water, that kind of thing. And now it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. We're cruising right along, and I'll show you what the battery says right now. But my normal day, like typical, has been changed by Diane's normal day, her idea of a normal day. And all of a sudden, her idea of a normal day today was going to be making a peach cobbler. Well, who am I to tell her no to making a peach cobbler? So I told her, hey, you know what? I'm running a test. If you're willing to roll the dice and maybe have to stop in the middle of it, I don't know, because we're running out of power here, go ahead and make us a peach cobbler. So I'm going to spin you around, show you where we're at right now. Diane's getting the peaches ready, and she's going to start a peach cobbler in our Breville toaster oven, and we're going to see what that pulls for power and see how that hampers our day. All right, let's take a look. So right now we're at 65%. We're putting out 78 watts with the coach right now, and it says we have 15 and a half hours left to go. But for this normal day, we're now going to make a peach cobbler. Let's see how that turns out. Let me jump in real quick and make this statement. We are not sponsored by Anker Solix in any way, fashion, or form. They don't know we're doing this video. They did not ship us this product for free. We bought this with our own hard-earned money. Now, what we will do is we bought this from Amazon. What we will do, if you see anything in this video you like, or you might want to pick up a F3800 or F3800 Plus, or anything else from Anker, we will put a couple links down below in the description that if you click on it, will take you to Amazon. If you make a purchase through Amazon on any of these products, we will get a small kickback from Amazon, not Anker. And you will not pay a penny more, so you pay the same price if you go through our link or not, but that just helps support our channel and what we do, trying to share information with the public. We, at this point, have been sharing information with the public for 14 years, and we have never been sponsored by any product or any company at all. So we've just been doing it for a hobby and to help people out. To this date. That could change in the future, but as of right now, that's the way it stands. Anyway, go down below, click those links if you care to pick up one of these units. Help out the channel. All right, let's keep on going. All right, so some time has elapsed since we said we're going to do a peach cobbler, but right now she has it all ready. It's in the bowl, ready to go in the oven, and she just turned on her Breville to do a preheat, and then once it preheats, it has to be in there for 30 to 40 minutes, I guess. Let's spin around and see where we are right now. All right, let's take a look. They're on the screen here. So we are now at 57%. We're we're putting out 1839 watts. It says we have 0.9 of an hour left on this battery. So we should have probably started the peach cobbler earlier by an hour or two, so that it wouldn't have been so depleted and we'd be okay. As it is now, we are going to be cutting it very, very close if she gets that peach cobbler done on this battery. What I'm interested to see is if we do get the peach cobbler done and it goes back to our normal wattage, how much time we're going to have left on the battery. Okay, this will be fun. It'll be close. Okay, I was just informed that the peach cobbler is done and the oven is turned off. Let's spin around, take a look, and see where we're sitting battery-wise now. All right, let's take a look. So we went down to 29%. We're now putting out 84 watts, and it says we have 6.3 hours remaining on the battery. So here's what I also like to do. So let's check this out. Let's go look at our batteries. Let's get over here closer to our batteries. They don't want to reach this far. Let's take a look. Let's check this out. Bear with me here. Okay, so here are our house batteries right now. There's one battery. Here's the second battery. So right now, our house batteries on the coach are at 70%. We're bringing in 55.4 amps. It's 1020, so we're not at the best solar right now. It's just getting above the trees for us. So it's at 70%. And it says in 5 hours we'll be at 100%, but we're going to get better solar here in a minute. So we have what did it say we had left on the Anker? 3 hours or something left. So this will be close to 100%. The Anker will be depleted, and then we can hook up the Anker to our outlet here that's going to be powered by our house batteries and solar, and we can start replenishing the power on the Anker Solix. So it's a vicious circle. That's what we're doing right now. And once we hook up the Anker Solix to that outlet and start charging, we'll be able to start charging at about 600 watts to 800 watts, and that way the batteries on the coach will maintain, and we will not be depleting those batteries at that wattage. If we went up to 1,000 watts or so, then the solar and panels would not keep up with that kind of wattage. It would take it away from our house batteries, which is fine. But to stay even keel, we'll have to charge at about between 600 and 800 watts. That's just what we're doing right now. If we had a couple more solar panels to actually hook up to the solar Anker or the Anker Solix, then that would help offset things while we're in use. But we don't, and that's what we do. All right, well, we're not going to put you through any more examples, and we're not going to wait for that perfect day because we just don't script our days, and each day is a moving target for us. And hopefully with the examples we did share with you, it shows you that this unit works very well for us right now. And it's not uncommon for us now to stay completely off grid for 3 or 4 or 5 days at a time with no problem. Earlier in the video, I did make mention we wanted to use the Anker Solix as a backup system for our RV property as a whole. Now, since getting this and shooting the test that we've shared with you, we have done some additional wiring in our casita that allows us to leave this sitting in our casita, run the power through our service panel to the whole property and out to the pedestal where we plug our RV into. And by doing that, we can run our casita, our well pump, and everything else off of this unit. Now, we're going to share all that with you, but not in this video, just make this way too long. So be watching for the video that we do share with you, showing how we use this to back up and run our entire RV property. I made mention earlier that we are not sponsored by Anker. They did not ship us this product for free. They did not tell us what we had to say about this unit. We get no credit from Anker, any way, fashion, or form. What we will do, though, we will put a link down below in the description that if you like what you see here, you want to make a purchase of this item through Amazon, if you click on that link, it'll take you to Amazon. If you make a purchase that way, we would get a small kickback from Amazon, not Anker, directly from Amazon. It just simply helped out our channel, and it's a simple way for you to say thank you to us. So I guess that's it for now. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, got anything out of it at all, how about a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, consider subscribing, and as always, have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.